here we are. We have been through a lot together this month, haven't we? We have been through many ups and downs, mostly ups in this particular marathon. But, yeah, the end has come. And thankfully, it's a much better ending than what was originally going to be its ending. So, yeah, here we are. This is probably Studio Ghibli's last movie. This is Hayao Miyazaki's more than likely last movie, as he's now in his twilight years and could pass on into the afterlife any day now. So, yeah, this is the last. And it is the second one to win Best Animated Feature at the Academy Awards. Yes, out of all the, 4 or 5 nominations of these movies that we've seen, only 2 of them have won. Spirited Away and Boy and the Heron. And I'm just going to say that they won over better movies. Just my opinion. And I'll talk about who actually was in the competition and should have won Best Animated Feature, but for now, let's just go into a little bit of a retrospective. For those of you that don't know, I have had a genuinely great time, most of the time, reviewing all of these movies. Every single one of them. And while there were some bumpy spots here and there, and yesterday's was an abomination that needed to be sent back to hell, a grand majority of these were genuinely wonderful first-time watches, and it was a really delightful experience to finally knock this studio's filmography off of the bucket list. So, I had a great time, especially with my absolute favorites of the marathon, which were Whisper of the Heart, My Neighbor Totoro, Howl's Moving Castle, Castle in the Sky, Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, Grave of the Fireflies, Tale of the Princess Kaguya, Wind Rises, Mononoke, and When Marnie Was There. Those 10 movies I'm going to love and cherish for the rest of my life. So, what is my overall final thoughts on Ghibli's actual final movie? It is very good. It is a very good movie. It has some great ideas. It is original, which is rare nowadays, especially in this modern movie landscape where we're all about remakes and sequels. And unfortunately, if the cars outside can shut up. Unfortunately, though, this movie, it's not great. And it winning the Academy Award felt more because of the pedigree behind it rather than the final product. I'll do my best to explain, but I'm just going to say right now, this is a very good movie, but just like the other one that won Best Animated Feature, Spirited Away, I'm just not super high on it. I have genuine issues with it. And if that's something that's going to make you upset, I apologize, and you're free to leave anytime. The door's right there. For those of you that are willing to hear me out, let's discuss. So, one last time, what's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, registered for anything with Animation, Queen TV, and movies. I am your host, Jackson Small. Welcome back to Ghibli Month one last time for Ghibli's final movie, The Boy and the Heron. At least for now. And it's a very strong return to form for the studio after the terrible dumpster fire that was Earwig and... Allow me this one curse word. Earwig and the bitch. And it is a very good movie. It is a very good original animated movie. And I can see why it won Best Animated Feature, but I don't agree with it. Because Nimona was right freaking there. Anyway, here's my written review. I'm done rambling. Let's begin. Well, that was confusing. More than anything. What's more than likely Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki's final movie, and only the second to actually win Best Animated Feature. Yet after watching it, I don't really know what to say. It is very good and a strong return to form for the studio after their previous abomination. Not to mention, it's also an original animated movie, and a 2D animated movie at that, which is only getting more and more rare as the years go on, which is sad to me. But winning the award over Nimona, I'm sorry, but that is more than a little far-fetched. For those of you that don't know, I did do a full review of Nimona when it came out in 2023, and I adore that film. I love that film. It is one of my personal favorites of this current decade. So, it losing to this, especially after now having seen it, no, there was something else going on there. Positives first. Voice acting is fantastic, especially Christian Bale, who is back again for his second role after being in Howl's Moving Castle, and Robert Pattinson as the titular Heron. And yeah, you're not even going to know it's Robert Pattinson, because it's one of the best vocal performances I have ever seen in an animated movie, because not only does Robert actually change his voice, Chris Pratt, but also because he's completely and totally unrecognizable. Like, through the grand majority of the movie, I thought it was Willem Dafoe that was voicing this Heron, because he sounds a lot like Willem Dafoe all throughout the movie. And then when that cast came up and I saw that this was Robert Pattinson, damn, bro, you have some talent, and I appreciate you for actually understanding and respecting the artistry and craft that goes into voice acting. Awesome freaking dude. Seriously, thank you. Animation is the most beautiful it's ever been. It's high budget, it's 2D, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is some of Studio Ghibli's best animation in terms of overall quality and fluidity. World building is solid as it shows a very unique take on the afterlife, which, as the years go on, it's getting harder and harder to do unique takes on the afterlife because there are so many different unique takes on the afterlife that you're going to end up copying one even if it's a little unintentional, because there's been so many of them. But this one, it is wholly unique, it doesn't feel like it's ripping off anything, and it is 100% original. This is one of the most original, different takes on the afterlife that I have seen in animated movies, and it's very good because of it. Like, the world building has its problems, it rushes a few things, but it's not bad by any means. It's still solid world building. The music is lovely. It's Ghibli. Of course the music's going to be nice. Unless you're earwigging the bitch, then you're just awful. But this music, it's beautiful, it's soft, it's somber, fits the tone perfectly. Writing is very adult and doesn't pull any punches. What I love most about this studio is that they don't pull punches. Like, yes, their movie might be aimed at kids most of the time, but they are not afraid to be ballsy and take some very drastic swings, which more animated studios need to do more of. The themes of existentialism are fascinating. Very fascinating. I can't really go into why, because both spoiler and because it's very confusing, but it's fascinating. The ending is bonkers. It's Studio Ghibli. Of course you want the ending to be nuts. And Mahito is an awesome main protagonist. Legit love this guy. Legit love him. He is a great main protagonist and one of my new favorite characters in Ghibli, alongside the Baron from Whisper and Cats. He is awesome. Legit love this character. But it's got some huge holes. Like, I was not kidding at the beginning. This movie has some huge issues that people just seem to overlook. Starting off with the fact that the story, while well told, is convoluted as all hell. Like, it starts out seemingly simple. Like, this boy has to travel with this Heron to the afterlife to get back this person that is carrying the child that his father is helping her make. Seems simple on the surface. But as the movie goes along, it gets more and more convoluted and extremely complicated, to the point where it's very difficult to follow a grand majority of the time. The rest of the characters are all stereotypical. As much as I love Christian Bale's voice acting, having him as the dad in here is literally the only reason I remember the dad in here. He's a very generic character. And then the rest aren't all that great either, outside of the Heron. I don't really remember any of them. Sorry. Rewatchability is more around middling. Maybe when I watch this in my own Twilight years, I might understand it better, but as of right now, as a young 24-year-old, I can't really see myself rewatching this anytime soon, so just like Spirited Away, it feels like a one and done. Sorry. And its biggest problem, its pacing is absolutely terrible. Like, this is the Studio Ghibli movie with the worst pacing, even worse than Earwig and the Bitch, and it's because it refuses to find consistency. Like, the first few 15-20 minutes start out slower than a snail. Then in the middle, it starts to slowly find some hints of consistency. It's not 100% consistency, but there are hints of it being there. And then when it actually feels like it finally found the consistency, it doesn't last any longer than 5 minutes before it rushes straight into the final act and completely rushes the ending. Starts out way too slow, it finds some kind of consistency in the middle, and then it rushes the climax, making it feel, well, for lack of a better word, anticlimactic. This movie's ending is anticlimactic, and very, just, confusing. Again, this whole movie is confusing. I like it, but it's confusing. So, overall, it is a really good movie, and a much better ending for this studio's overall legacy. But a lot like Spirited Away, I just can't call it a masterpiece or a great film or anything above just solid. I'm sorry, I can't. I do recommend it, and again, it is really good. I have problems with it, but this is still a good movie. I want to make that clear. But it's far from the highs that came before it. And yes, Nimona is a much better movie. I will die on that hill. Nimona is an incredible movie that you need to see if you haven't already. This is a good movie that you watch out of curiosity, and then you make your own decision whether you want to watch it again. I definitely liked it more than Spirited Away, because unlike Spirited Away, it didn't crush my soul in disappointment, but it is nowhere near Kaguya, Fireflies, Mononoke, Wind Rises, or When Marnie Was There. Not even close. So, it's a really good movie. It's a really good ending for this marathon and this studio and this man's legacy. But it is far from the best of this studio, and far from the best of what this man is capable of. But since this is being made in his twilight years, and he's trying to make things that are a bit more existential, I'll cut him a little bit of slack. And also, again, just like Spirited Away, it wasn't disappointing to the point it literally crushed my soul. So, it's a very good movie, it's just a very confusing one with some very terrible pacing. If you can get around that, you're in for a really good time, and it is a very good conclusion for the studio, and it does remind you why this studio is so beloved. So, even if I don't think this movie's great, I can understand those that do. For me, though, final verdict for this movie is going to be a solid 7 out of 10. A 7 feels the best apt for this movie in this case. It is a very good movie, it is original, and it is definitely a strong way for the studio and this particular guy to go out. But when you compare it to everything that came before it, there are far better films. It's just how it is. But yeah, with that, we are officially done with Studio Ghibli. I have reviewed all 24 of their movies, and while there have been some rough patches every now and then, once again I just want to say, I had an incredible time watching a grand majority of these for the first time. It was a genuinely wonderful experience that, as an adult, has deepened my love and appreciation for animation. Which was already pretty deep, because this is the medium I grew up on pretty much my entire life. So, yeah. It feels kind of sad that this is the end, because I feel like it went by way too quick, but I will always cherish and love the movies that are the best of this studio. And I will always love and cherish the studio itself for all the wonderful works of art that it has given. Because this is one of those studios of animation where their great stuff far outweighs their few and far between mistakes. So, from one guy to another, thank you Hayao Miyazaki, thank you Takahata, and thank you Studio Ghibli. Because without you, we wouldn't have these incredible movies that are great for both kids and adults. So, I salute you, and I fully support whatever you're going to do next. Thank you for the memories, thank you for this marathon, and thank you for all these movies. Well, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. Feel free to subscribe, sorry. Feel free to leave your own thoughts and opinions on this movie in the comments down below, as well as your own personal connections and stories with Studio Ghibli. I'd love to hear them. And, until we meet again, I'm Jack Small. This is Animation Station, your number one associate for anything and everything animation. And I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Excited for what comes up ahead. Hey, Heron, can you make my wish come true? I want someone